the weekly show, 6th edition of Spies and Flats. Welcome everybody. Tony Krebster here from Split, Illinois. Coming to you from Lane Tech once again. We're inside of our locker room. As you can see, we run Northside Nike Northside Southside Challenge. The boys, Lane Tech won the event this past Sunday. I want to also say congrats to everyone that participated, girls and boys. The winners that won, Catherine Edelman from Geneva won the girls, and Graham Brown from Cailin won the boys. Congrats to you guys for winning your individual races. Now, I want to introduce my trusty co-hostess, Miss Cailin.
What's up?
Hey, how are you today?
Good.
Good. So we're going to get right to it. First topic on the menu here.
Nike Cross Nationals.
Nike Cross Nationals. Remember last week I talked about Nike Cross Nationals? First thing is first. We got the Nike Cross Regionals. As you can see, we run cross country, and on the back, Nike Cross 13. I am the Midwest hostess, so I'm the ambassador. So any questions that you have regarding the Nike Cross Regional Meet, which will be held November 17th in Terre Haute, Indiana, Indiana State University, the Vern Gibson cross country course, give me a call at tjones@milesplit.com, or you can reach me on Twitter if you have Twitter at ILP in 2 T's. Just type it in, boom, and you'll see me right there. So this will be a week after the state championships, Illinois State Championships, November the 17th. That's on a Sunday. Great time. You know, York will be there. They've been to all. This will be the 10th anniversary for the Nike Cross Nationals. So I will give you updates next week. So if you have any questions regarding that, just get at me. All right.
So Jeff's health tips.
All right. First person I'm going to introduce here. Remember last week I talked about track. Well, we're going to kind of talk about a little bit of track, but more from an injury prevention standpoint. I want to welcome in Coach Jeff Bryant. Come on in, sir. All right. So we got Coach Jeff Bryant here. He's the Lane Tech girls coach. He's a guru. Went to school for personal training at Wisconsin Stevens Point. So he's a personal trainer. He's the guru of this. And one of the first things we want to talk about, Coach Jeff, there's been some questions. These are questions that was presented to me on the email. And the first question we're going to talk about is patella tendonitis cause and effect. Is that sir?
Patellofemoral syndrome basically is caused from usually overpronation and just too much mileage. Also from weak hips and gluteal muscles. So usually first sign of pain around the knee, it's usually not because the knee is actually pain. It's usually from weak hips and weak gluteal muscles. So the easiest way is just to strengthen those muscles, and anytime you feel pain during your run, stop. It's never smart to run through pain. Pain is a signal to the body telling you to stop what you're doing so you can protect yourself.
All right. So how do you rehab that?
Basically, with any type of band work, side lateral steps with the band around the ankles or the knees, just to work on the hip muscles, glute bridges, also known as hip thrusts. You want to strengthen the gluteus maximus. Basically, any type of lateral movement or side step to strengthen the hips is going to help rehab that. Also, if you're doing a lot of mileage, you want to calm down on the mileage and allow the body to recover. Thanks.
Awesome. IT band syndrome.
IT band syndrome, it's usually, it's also associated with knee pain, lateral knee pain a lot. It's usually from bad biomechanics with the foot. Usually overpronators get it, excessive overpronators. If you have a leg length discrepancy, one leg is longer than the other. And also, back to again, the hip muscles. Hip muscles are very important in running. Those usually it can be treated with just easing off once you feel the pain. Because if you try to run through it, it turns to full-blown ITBS syndrome, and then you can be out for months. So rehab, the way to kind of rehab and help that out is just foam rolling, icing, easing up on the mileage, and just same thing, letting the body hear. If you hear a recurring thing through this, easing up on the mileage and letting the body heal, that's one of the easiest ways to not get injured.
Stress fractures.
Stress fractures, basically, stress fractures are from kind of shin splits. Shin splits are the first signs letting you know the medial tibial syndrome, which we call shin splints. That tibia bone, the shin bone, basically, every time you're running, you have micro fractures. And what happens is bone takes a lot longer to heal than muscle. So over time, when you're not letting it heal and you're constantly pounding, eventually, to keep it simple, that bone kind of just breaks because you're not letting it heal. And that can also just be eased with just running. Because once you get a stress fracture, a full-out stress fracture, you're going for 8 to 16 weeks. So in track, if you get a stress fracture in January or February, your season's done. So it's always easier when you start to feel that pain to just listen to your body. You have to trust your body and just ease up with it. And the easiest way, stress fractures, you just have to stop training completely. What's next?
Awesome, Coach. I think the last thing we need to talk about is Achilles tendonitis, I think.
Achilles tendonitis, that's one where basically the Achilles attaches to the two calf muscles in the back, your soleus and your gastrocnemius, and it attaches that to your heel. And basically what happens, usually excessive overpronators or supinators, they tend to just put too much stress on it. A lot of people say it's from tight calves, which is associated with it, but there's no research that goes with it. Any tendonitis, you have to just stop running. That's one of the injuries you can't just say, oh, I'm going to run through it. It's going to get worse if you run through it. One of the main ways to rehab it is foam roll, ice, and also any type of eccentric calf workout. So for example, if you go up with both legs on a calf raise, and whichever leg is the weaker leg, the tendonitis, say on a stair, you would slowly come down on that one leg. That's one way to help strengthen that. So those are some of my tips on just kind of staying healthy. And the main thing, listen to your body. Pain, you never want to run through pain. And just listen to the mileage. You never want to jump. If you know you weren't training and you were doing like 15 miles a week, you don't want to come in and go from 15 miles a week to 30 or 40. That's just one of the easiest ways to get injured.
What about those?
Those, the freeze. The freeze, I'm not a big proponent of the freeze. They're mainly for neutral runners and supinators. Most people are overpronators that are runners. So they have really no business wearing these. If you want to do some mileage in them, that's okay, like a percentage of your mileage, because some barefoot running is good to work those intrinsic muscles in the foot that don't get worked that much. But as an everyday trainer for a track athlete, I don't recommend it. That's just my personal opinion. It's something that can be used as a supplement to your training. So that's how I feel about the freeze.
Awesome. Awesome, Coach. Awesome, Coach Jeff Bryant did an awesome job. Listen to what he's saying. Don't make it in vain. All right.
All right, so subscriptions.
All right. Remember last week I talked about mile split, Illinois going to some format of subscriptions. Well, we're going to try to introduce some of that next week, the premium content. As I said, 90% of the stuff, or whatever you want to call it, is free. All right? Free is free, as I said before. But as I said, again, I have big, big plans for mile split. I want to do big, big things for a mile split. The advertising dollars only do so much. You want the best coverage, right? You want the best content, right? So pennies a day will get you what you want. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. I'll never get rich. Only thing I can do to get rich is you get the best content possible. That's all I really care about. All right? Cool. All right.
All right, so now just how to prep for a race.
Yeah, we're going to do Cailin's tips here. She's going to talk about prepping for a race, and I'm going to give her the floor. All right, Miss Cailin, go ahead.
Well, let's see. Pretty much from what I do prepping for a race, starting like about 2 nights before is when I really start focusing on what I'm eating. Usually 2 nights before a race is when you need to get the most sleep, because that's when it counts most. So that's the night when I'm kind of just like forgetting about all my homework, really, if I have a lot, just going to bed. That's the night when I really, really focus on hydrating. I mean, you should be hydrating so much regardless, but if you've been slacking a little bit, that's a good time to really start kicking it up. Also, it's when I try to not dwell too much about my race in general, because maybe it's not the same for everybody, but in my opinion, if you dwell on your race too much, it gives you more opportunity to think negatively of it. When I do the night before, pasta night, hydration night, bed early, and then when I'm laying in bed, getting ready to sleep, that's when you can maybe try to visualize your race, think about you doing well, think about all the positive energy, like just get pumped. Also, around 2 nights or to the night of before a race, I try not to have any dairy. It doesn't go for everybody, but a lot of times it's hard for your body to digest dairy in time, so sometimes it can actually make you more prone to getting cramps during a race. So I usually stay away from all milk and like a ton of cheese and all that type of stuff, and eat like lots of meats and protein, and then obviously carbs, bread and pasta. That's probably just about it. I mean, I take it easy at practice. I stretch more than I would ever stretch in general. Try to stay as stress-free as possible, just relax, and that's probably just about what I do. Just about it.
Awesome. Look, man, I bring Miss Cailin in because she's a student athlete like many of you viewers out here. And you always seem to listen to your peers more than your parents or your coaches anyway. So she's not gonna lie. So if you eating ice cream the day before night, expect to want to stop and use the bathroom. So to prevent that, just take her tips and you'll be okay. All right, this next little topic is called half as in it. That's, radio version here. Premium content, I might give you guys the X-rated version. I might give you guys the X-rated version. But anyway, basically what half as in it is you got kids that come to practice every day. First thing they do is come up to the coach and say, Coach, yeah, my shin hurts, and you think I can ride the bike or, go in the pool? You know what that really is these kids that don't want to work. I'm not picking on anyone in general. The reason why I'm even bringing this up is because we're at the end of the season now, and usually the coaches ease up on workouts because they know it's championship time. So the workouts are tailored to more recovery. And, like some coaches, like in our program, we have little fun days. Like today we had a fashion show. We had like little cheer contest. And I noticed our infirmary team, as we call it, these are the same kids that get hurt every day. These are the same kids that had to go to the doctor for, toothache. Not a single one was hurt today. And I started thinking, like, man, we got 100% health. We must got the best team trainers.